Well, I've not cried, you know. Not shed one tear since he died. It's not good for you, is it, keeping everything bottled up?
Well, not if you feel you are.
Well, I don't exactly feel my usual self, but that's natural. I was going to get a small brisket. Frank and I usually have something like that of an evening. And then I suddenly thought, why not a nice rump steak and a bit of liver for George?
Oh, that's breaking out a bit. It'll do you good.
Of course, I could have done without all that trouble with that Todd person. Anyway, she's gone now, for good. Settled in, have you?
Settling.
Well, she's not got much to say for herself, George. Too grand for the likes of us. Hoity-toity. No better than she should be, though, I'll bet. Got some liver for you, George. Might just book you up as well. Daddy's gone, you know. He's not coming back, ever. So stop sulking, can't you?
Oh, no.
Come on, George. Mr. Kettle's home. Get some fresh air, George. Do you good. Watch out for the cars.
Hello, Mrs Beale.
Knew you were back, Mr. Kettle. Heard your radio.
It's not disturbing you, is it?
Oh, not at all. I like a bit of music. And anyway, well, you keep yours down, don't you? Not like some in here. I wondered, you haven't seen George, by any chance?
George? No.
Only he's missing. I thought he might have slipped into your room.
Don't think so. Come in, have a look. May have slipped under the bed again.
Oh, thank you very much. I'd like to know where he is. I've all I've got left now.
How was the funeral?
Oh, nice. Very nice. As I was telling Mrs Singer, it had dignity. Yes, that's the word, dignity. Well, Frank was a dignified sort of man. In his prime, he was, well...
Well, I'm glad it went well. George! George! You under there? No, just a lot of dust on me climbing boots under there, Mrs Beale.
Since you went off the other day, there's more than just Frank's funeral been happening.
Oh?
She's gone.
Who?
Linda Todd. I reported her to Mrs Singer.
You reported her? What for?
Well, she's on the street. Well, on the phone might be a better way of putting it. A prostitute.
She what?
Well, I reported her to Mrs Singer and she's given her the heave.
Look, Linda just told me she's leaving here to get married.
Get married? When did she tell you that?
Yesterday.
Oh, that's what she's telling everybody to cover up the real reason. Oh, there's no doubt. Mrs Singer threw her out. I was there when it happened, out there in the hall. I think you'd better leave, Miss Todd, she said. And she said, all right, I will. There was no mention of her getting married. Well, I mean, who'd marry the likes of her? Who'd be silly enough?
Yes, all right then, Mrs Beale. Tell me, what makes you think that Linda's a prostitute?
Well, of course she is. I've seen all those men calling for her in the big cars, ringing her doorbell, phoning her up.
She's a popular number.
Yes, with her card in one of those windows, no doubt.
No, you're wrong. I know you're wrong. Now, there's a big difference between a good-time girl and a short-time girl.
You're usually out at work all day. We heard it all, Frank and me, only he thought it was none of our business. Well, he's gone now. I'll tell you something. I've done you a favour. I know her sort, like foreigners. One starts the funny business and before you know where you are, you've got a house full. Would you like to live in a house full of tarts, Mr. Kettle? Because I wouldn't. This is a respectable address, and I, for one, am determined to keep it that way.
All right, all right. I shouldn't get too upset about it.
Well, I could have done without that kind of trouble, especially at this time.
Yes, I know, and I'm sorry. But that doesn't give you the right to go around making those sort of accusations about Linda.
Well, she's gone now. And definitely not to get married. Oh, I wondered, have you got a copy of the local paper, Mr. Kettle?
No, I didn't get one this week.
Oh, well, it doesn't matter. It's just that Frank's death notice should be in.
Mrs Beale, I'm sorry.
I told you I'm not official.
Oh, hello.
I wonder if you could help me. I've got a bottle of wine upstairs and no corkscrew.
Oh, you are in dire straits.
Yes, it's rather like having a bath with no plug for it.
I think I've got one. Come in while I look for it.
Oh, thanks. Linda tells me that you go climbing.
Yeah. Yeah, whenever I get a few days off. We met up after I just spent 3 days in Snowdonia.
Yes, you have changed a little in appearance.
Thank you. Can't find it. Corkscrew. It's here somewhere. No, it is. Hang about. Boy Scout, never lost. It's my old Boy Scout's knife. It's got just about everything on it, including a thing for getting stones out of horses' hooves.
They actually exist, do they?
Oh, that is one.
Oh, now my life's complete. I think I've never seen one before. Thank you.
Hope it works.
Yes, I'll try. I'll bring it straight back.
No, don't bother. You hang on to it till you get one of your own. I shan't be needing it.
Oh, thanks. Thanks very much.
Oh, by the way, yesterday when we met up, you and Linda were going out together, yeah?
Yes. She stepped into a Mercedes while I hoofed it down to the shops.
She talked to you?
What about?
Her fella?
Oh, I met him.
Ah.
He seems very rich and he's apparently very affectionate.
And they are getting married?
So she said.
Oh, great. Linda deserves a bit of luck.
Why do you ask?
Oh, nothing. Just wondered. How about you? You, settling in?
Yes. Oh, blast. Oh.
You probably don't need this. And on the other hand, you do.
I couldn't get it to budge.
Let me try.
Oh, thank you. I'm sorry, I'm putting you to a lot of trouble.
It's no trouble. I'm the acting unpaid plumber, joiner, electrician, and general dog's body around here. Unblocked every sink in the place.
Oh.
Just like that. Don't let it get cold.
Oh, it's not very good. I haven't got the hang of that cooker yet. Still, a glass of wine will go down very nicely.
Georgie, come on, George. That's it. Enjoy your walkies then. Didn't take her long, did it, George?
Just a dribble, and I'll steal silently away, let you get on with your omelette. Cheers.
Cheers.
Do you know, I've been here, what, 18 months? Never set foot inside this room before. Mind you, I had no call, I suppose.
Could do with a few small touches, like a total repaint, new furniture, fitted carpets.
Well, I think the singers operate on a pretty tight budget.
Which means the tenants have to do their own thing.
It's called stamping your own personality.
At your own expense.
Well, it depends what degree of comfort you've been used to. Yeah. I'll let you get on with your supper. Thanks for the wine.
Oh, thank you for the corkscrews.
You're welcome.
Hello?
Hello?
What have you been up to?
3 guesses. Shh. Come in a minute. I'd like to have a word with you. Keep your voice down.
What, worried about your reputation?
No point in getting her on the warpath again.
I don't give a stuff.
Now, what are you doing here, anyway? I thought you'd be in the Bahamas now on your honeymoon.
I'm not married yet. Not that that would stop me.
No, I bet.
I can pick up some things I left.
But you are getting married.
Why? You jealous?
You know I am.
Didn't do anything about it when I was here.
I was shy.
Too bloody busy thinking about that bird you went climbing with last month.
Now, listen, seriously. You are marrying this fellow, aren't you? I mean, she's saying you've been given the order of boot on account of your loose morals.
You know me, loose as a ball of string. But you don't believe I'll poison ivy in there, do you?
All I meant was I could always take it up with the singers if you wanted me to.
I left of my own accord. I did have a bit of a barney with Mrs. Singer.
It's all right, then.
Of course it is. Ah, it's nice of you, Brian. Why the hell couldn't you care a little bit more before? Or maybe we might have...
When are you getting married?
Soon.
Good evening.
Oh, Mr. Singer.
Good evening.
I was half expecting you. Come in, Mr. Singer.
Thank you. I just popped in to make sure that that little trouble with Miss Todd had been resolved.
She's definitely gone, Mr. Singer. Gone for good. No need to worry yourself on that score. I only did what anyone respectable would have done. Mrs. Singer understood that.
Oh, yes, yes, of course. Well, look, I really must be off. We are extremely grateful for all your help.
No, think nothing of it. Your interests are mine, Mr. Singer. If this place goes to pot, you lose your money and I'm out on the street.
Yes, that's true. Well, no other problems then.
Well, those two down in the basement don't improve, Mr. Singer.
Oh, I am dealing with that, Mrs. Beale.
Thought you would be. The Rolling Stones, I call them.
Yes, that's very apt. Right, well, no other problems.
Well, let me put it this way. I've always believed in giving people a chance and not making snap judgments about anybody. Well, look at Mr. Khrushchev. But in this case, I feel I should speak my mind. I'm not sure it's a good thing having single women, Mr. Singer. Not that she's single. Well, she is. I mean, she's left her husband, that's very obvious.
Mrs. Beale, who on earth are you talking about?
The new tenant, Ruth Harris.
But you're surely not suggesting that she's, well, like Miss Todd. She is a teacher.
All I'm trying to say is it's not taken her very long to make herself at home, if you know what I mean. Not long at all. Now, I'm not making any hard and fast accusations, Mr. Singer. As I said, your interests are mine and this is my home.
Oh, yes, yes,
but
indeed.
single women, Mr. Singer, well, they're a bit like a honeypot, aren't they, to a bee? They don't allow them in some public houses, you know. Not on their own.
No.
Well, thank you for coming, Mr. Singer. We see quite a lot of Mrs. Singer, but we don't see half enough of you, you know. And you know what they say? A man about the house makes all the difference. I found that out, and Frank's only been gone a week.
Yes. Well, I I do hope you'll be all right, Mrs. Beale. Goodbye.
Goodbye, Mr. Singer. Remember me to Mrs. Singer.
Yes.
Oh, Mr. Singer, I wondered, have you got a copy of the local paper?
Well, yes, I have.
Only Frank's death notice should be in.
Ah. Oh.
Thank you. I'll let you have it back.
Thank you. Goodbye, Mrs. Beale.
Goodbye. Oh, I much prefer dealing with him, George. You know where you are with a man.
Good evening.
Good evening.
I wonder, could you spare me a couple of minutes?
Yeah, sure. Come on in.
Thank you. We'd better keep our voices down.
Yes, I think she spends her life with her ear glued to that wall.
I expect you find it rather disconcerting.
No, not at all. If she hears anything to upset her, that's her fault, not mine. She's been stirring it, hasn't she?
What do you mean?
What's all this with Linda Todd?
Ah. Yes, well, that is what I wanted to talk to you about.
Take a pew.
Oh, thank you. Did you know her well?
Well enough. As a matter of fact, she's... No, nothing.
Would you say that she could have been on the game?
Never. Look, Linda's no angel, but she's not a prostitute either.
Yes, that's what I thought. Still, it's as well to be on the safe side. It wouldn't do to have well, be a bit of a laughing stock, to say the least. I mean, a solicitor.
He'd be laughed out of court.
Yes. There isn't anyone else like Miss Todd, is there?
No, worse luck. I shall miss Linda.
Yes. Have you met our new Mrs. Harris, as yet?
Briefly. Now, hang about. What's that old bat been saying about her?
Oh, nothing. Nothing at all.
Seems a very nice person.
Yes, after all, she is a teacher.
Is she?
Oh, yes.
Oh, well, there you go, then.
Well, I'm glad to have had this chance to put things in their proper perspective. Mrs. Beale had all but convinced me that I had a disorderly house on my hands.
No such luck.
Yes. Good. Well, I'll just go and have a word with our new tenant.
You can knock it off the rent.
I beg your pardon?
My consultation fee.
Oh, I thought you meant... good night.
Some people might not have many standards, George, but I have. Here it is. Beale. After a long illness bravely borne, Frank Beale, that's your daddy, George, dearly beloved husband of Ivy Beale. At least I kept my partner.
Yes, that's a very good question. Why did I buy the place? Seemed like such a good idea at the time.
Why?
Oh, got it fairly cheap. But you know, I was that little bit too late. The boat had gone. Landlord's property had become distinctly unfashionable. Rather like profits.
I can't say my heart exactly bleeds for you.
Don't blame you. Whose heart ever bled for a landlord? We inspired about as much sympathy as a rabies virus, even before Ruckman. But you know, I think I'm pretty fair as a landlord. I mean, I charge a fair rent, don't I?
Reasonable compared to some of the places round here.
The place isn't too decrepit.
Well, we could do with a few thousand spending on it.
Yes, and where would I get a few thousand from? Got to be a local authority to spend that sort of money on property.
Well, there's your dilemma, isn't it?
Yes, just can't win, can I?
Afraid not. Still, you've got Mrs. Beale rooting for you, even if she isn't official.
Yes. Well, I'm glad you're settling in, all right. Look, I think it's only fair to warn you about Mrs. Beale.
Everybody does, why not you?
She has this thing about single women. She's quite illogical about it, really. It's heightened, I suppose, by her husband's death. She seems to think that you're all, well, sisters under the skin.
I'm married, Mr. Singer. I still have a husband.
Yes, my wife said so. Still, I thought I'd put you on your guard. She can be difficult. Well, good night.
Mrs. bloody Beale.
Hey? Just one more lot, Lawrence. I won't be a chippy. Yeah, all right.
Hello. Jenny. Hello, my darling. How are you? Me, man, I'm fine. Sure. Wales. Well, wouldn't you guess it rained every day. We still got to the summit. Hang on a minute. You happy?
That wasn't Miss Todd I saw just now, was it?
Yeah, she popped back to get the last of her things. Why, you didn't talk to her?
No, I didn't think it'd serve any purpose. Good night.
Sorry about that. My landlord. Now listen, when am I seeing you? This weekend or next?
That's me then. Just saying goodbye. Hey, you look a bit choked off. What's the matter?
Mrs Beale.
What's she up to now?
Oh, it's nothing, really.
Ah, she's an old rat bag, a busybody. She carries no weight at all.
Well, she made enough trouble for you with the singers.
Ah, it was easy meat for the likes of her. You're a bit different.
Still, I think Mr Singer still has his suspicions. Oh, man. He probably does think he's bought a bawdy house.
Oh, blimey, he'd have made a fortune. Look, love, she's just a dried-out old cow. Take no notice.
Yeah, what you're really saying is if I want to stay here, I've got to put up with Mrs Beale.
Pray so. She's one of the hazards. Comes with the house. Don't let her grind you down. They're not too bad, these royal apartments.
Oh, no, they're just what I've always wanted. A brown bed sit in grey bed sit land.
Oh, it's all right once you get used to it.
How long will that take?
Oh, a couple of months or so. But remember what I said. Don't stay too long. Yeah, I must go. Lawrence will be chewing through his cigar.
When's the wedding?
I'll send you an invitation. Keep your knickers up. And nil desperandum, as my Auntie Joyce would say. Ta-da.
Bye.
What are you doing here? You're trespassing. You've no right. I'll get Mr Singer to change all the locks, I will. And don't think he won't. He listens to me.